Boom. All right, what's up, you guys? It's Roy, it's Jacob. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk to you about what you should be looking out for as we head into a new trading week in this crazy and volatile month of May. I also want to talk to you guys about a few of the stocks that I'm personally excited about right now, and also stocks that I think could see some of the most impressive bounces over the short term. And of course, we will be looking at some charts as well. All right, so before we get into each of these individually, let's quickly go over all of the tabs I want to share with you, and then we'll dive in. All right, so to kick it off, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about strategy. This is a crazy market environment. I hope that there's a decent amount of you who are currently sitting on some decent cash stacks and capital to deploy. And I want to talk to you guys about how you should think about when you should deploy that capital. All right, so we'll read over this guy. We'll also read over a few short paragraphs from this CNBC article about knowing your time horizon and some stats about when might be the best time to deploy that capital. After we cover that, once again, we just talk a little bit of strategy. To preface the video, I do want to dive into this other CNBC article titled "Investors Could Get a Reprieve from Vicious Stock Sell-Off in Week Ahead." All right, so you guys, as you know, last week was an absolute bloodbath. Friday, we saw some relief. I personally think that more relief is on the short-term time horizon. Of course, I will expand on this, why this is from both a fundamental and technical perspective as we progress through the video. But again, you guys, I do agree with this, and we will read over some key points, what to look out for, some earnings, the Fed meeting, and we will read over, once again, those key points, as well as a few paragraphs here that also feature a short-term technical analyst that I really agreed with the opinion of, okay? So I'll read over this before diving into the charts and diving into some ticker symbols. After we cover all of these fundamentals, we'll close out the video, talking some charts, dive into Bitcoin. Actually, Bitcoin, Riot, and Coinbase, I've just decided, are going to be the only stocks that we're going to be taking a look at on the chart today. Keep it short and sweet, but I do also want to show you some tickers that, just some ticker symbols that I'm personally excited about right now. Okay, so that's the breakdown of the video, you guys. Before we say what's up to Mr. Bruce Lee, you guys, please give the video a like if you go on to gain value from it today. It's greatly appreciated. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Exciting times in the markets, you guys. If you want to join the Waves fam, actually, regardless, join the Waves fam, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate that as well. And let me know in the comments down below, are you feeling bullish or are you feeling bearish going into this trading week? And if you're feeling bullish, what names are you looking forward to buying? You got to catch this dip quick. That's what I'm thinking, okay? So all that said, let's get into reading. Actually, I want to start at the top. This was Friday's newsletter, at least actually the intro. Every morning, do the trade alert, part 1 of the newsletter, and then part 2 with all the charts and stuff. This is part 1. Friday, 13th. It was Friday the 13th, but we couldn't be having better luck today, team. On a real note, luck wasn't involved with the profits we saw this week in the slightest. The reason this week has been so lucrative for the Waves portfolio is because we were able to act rationally in an environment full of panic and emotion. The profits we've reaped this week were well deserved. These are the scenarios that dictate the winners from the losers in this game. Cheers to you for being a winner. Steak and sushi. If you guys are a Waves fan day one, or even just been around for a while, you would know the ongoing steak and sushi. Just, you know the motto. Steak and sushi most definitely on the menu this weekend. I hope you treat yourself and your loved ones to something special. We've definitely earned a good meal after all of these top ramen dinners over the past few months. So again, you guys, these markets have been brutal. Thankfully, this past week, actually these past couple of weeks, have been very, very successful for the portfolio. So if you guys are part of the higher tier of the Waves fam, and you have been eating good with me, cheers to you. And again, you guys, it's hard to make money in markets like this, but if you have skill, if you have discipline, it becomes easier and easier over time, okay, exponentially. This was an amazing week, team, but I want to reiterate once more that I'm sitting on a big old stack of cash at the moment. Stay safe and stay liquid. In the words of the late, great Mr. Bruce Lee, become like water, my friend. You got to pay to play in this game, and I want to make sure that you're all playing for as long as possible. Those who play long enough to achieve veteran status will be very, very wealthy. Okay, you guys, so that's the thing about these past couple of weeks. So many retail Joes, so many retail traders who entered the market in 2020 when the pandemic hit. During the manic times, they didn't understand how to play properly because so many individuals only knew a market that went up. That meant that their risk tolerance was a lot higher because they didn't understand loss. Now more and more people this will be a good thing in the long term. It's painful now, but this will be looked back on as productive when it comes to the long term. There are a lot of those same retail Joes who are learning the pain of loss, because you should feel pain when you lose. All right, not everyone wins. That's the reality of everything in life. Not everyone wins. There are winners and there are losers. Okay, so hopefully, again, this has been a rough few months, but again, hopefully you guys have dry powder to deploy right now. Hopefully, if you did lose money, I lost money. If anyone didn't lose money over the past 6 months, they're a freaking genius. But again, you guys, you have to pay your dues in this game. And those who make it to the other side, if you're still standing here, if you're still reading this, if you're still watching these videos, props to you. And again, it builds character and it makes you stronger over the duration of your career or even your pastime as a trader. Whatever it is, this can be a very passive game. That's perfectly fine. But hey, if you're trading this, you need to go through these slaps in the face. Okay, so again, you guys can pause, read that if you want. Famous quotes. Boom. Okay. So speaking of when you should deploy that capital, know your time horizon. Investors should be cognizant of their goals for the money they put back into the market. Dollars stashed for the long term may be better suited to ride out the day-to-day volatility. Meanwhile, money that's needed in the immediate term should be kept in cash or short-term fixed income instruments. However, how you return to the market also counts. You could dollar cost average DCA into stocks, or if you have a pile of cash on the side, make a lump sum purchase. This was interesting. At least I found them to be interesting. A 2021 study from the Northwestern Mutual found that investing $1 million lump sum all at once and fully in stocks resulted in better cumulative total returns at the end of 10 years compared to dollar cost averaging almost 75% of the time. Okay? So again, you guys, especially in Bitcoin, DCA is such a common. You just got a dollar cost average, $1 a day, right? $1 a day in a Bitcoin, whatever, $100, $1,000 a day, depending on your level of wealth. Okay, but again, you guys, it's very interesting, and I mean, the reason I'm bringing this up right now is I don't know when specifically they took they took this $1 million, put it into the markets. I don't know if they bought the dip or put it all in on a dip, or just put it all in on one random day that they just decided to run this study. But you guys, right now there are so many deals in the market. Again, just going back to so many of the growth stocks that we always cover. Coinbase, right? We'll just stay on that, like Roblox, SoFi, Matterport, ChargePoint, like all of the names. Really just gave you guys a lot of the names that I'm excited about right now. I'll reiterate those as we move through the video. But again, you guys, like there's so many good names that have gotten overly beaten down in this market, and that is also what this article that we're going to read next points to as well when it comes to those bounces. But again, you guys, this, like, if you're buying growth stocks, unless you believe technology is done for, if you think the human race and the human species is going to unadvanced, if you think we're going to go backwards, if you think we're going to devolve and veer away from technology instead of going towards it, then hey, you probably shouldn't buy these. But personally, it seems pretty damn obvious that technology is only going to become increasingly more a part of our lives. And again, that's Moore's law. This is exponential. The advancement of technology is exponential. And right now there's so many good tech stocks that are on sale. Playing tech, they've gotten beaten down, and again, you guys, a lot of these names right here are names that I'm super excited about right now. And I have on Thursday, you guys know I deployed a lot of that capital. That's why we shorted the market to buy the steak and sushi. Shorted the market early in the week. Bought a whole bunch of call options on Friday or on Thursday. Ripped on Friday. Friday was one of the best days for the portfolio in a very, very long time after a really great week, honestly. So again, you guys, cheers to you if you've been riding the waves with me. And yeah, you guys, if you want to know how I'm trading personally on a day-to-day basis, every single position in my portfolio, which I do update every trading day during market hours, and you want one of these bad boys, actually 3 of these. This was, again, part 1 of 3 newsletters that I send out every single morning during market hours. And again, you guys, I've put a lot of time into this. I feel it's very, very worth it. If you want to check it out, if you want to sign up, again, join that next tier, join the next level up of the Waves fam. $15 a month, $40 for every 3 months. First link down in the description box below. Go check it out, and I'll let you be the judge of the quality of that. So anyway, that said, we will dive into Bitcoin, and again, Coinbase and Ride. Just keep it quick right here. Keep it a little more zoomed out on the daily candles, but let's read through this first, and then we'll dive into the charts to close out the video. All right, so key points. Stocks could see from selling in the week ahead after this past week's sharp plunge and rebound. Retail sales and housing data are highlights of the economic calendar, and Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaks at a conference on Tuesday. Well, JP, the consumer is a focus when a few big retailers, Walmart, Home Depot, and Target, post earnings, and the last big reports of the first quarter earnings season. So again, you guys don't have to go over all of this, but there are these, 5 short paragraphs that I want to read over quickly. Quote, it has the ingredients, so I should say that this is Redler from t3live.com. Quote, it has the ingredients for an oversold bounce that might last more than a week. I think this bounce is going to be led by all the oversold names that are down 70 to 80% from their highs, i.e. growth stocks like all of those that we talk about on this channel so frequently. Okay, so Redler said the fact that the Federal Reserve does not meet for a few weeks could add some support to stocks. So 100% agree with that. And again, you guys, like I've been saying, like I said in yesterday's video, there really just isn't. And this is the same reason that I made that video saying there's no hope left for the markets. Okay, like I posted that like 8 or 9 days ago. That played out very well because those shorts, those put options, absolutely printed from there. But for the same reason I made that video is the same reason that I feel the way I do and did like on Thursday. The fear and greed was at a 6. Everyone was so fearful, and really things couldn't get much worse, right? There was nothing that could get any worse unless an asteroid hit the Earth. Okay, for the most part, or nuclear war was announced or something like that. But definitely not going to happen. Optimistic guy, not going to happen. But again, you guys, just from a reasonable perspective, from a rational perspective, considering fear was so high, it didn't make sense for pretty much anything else to initiate or instigate more fear. And again, all of the Fed meeting was over, big earnings were over. All of the things that could potentially scare from a fundamental perspective were behind us, okay? So we had clear water ahead. And that's what made, of course, analysis more clear as well. So in the week ahead, again, we do have a lot of consumer earnings, but the Fed doesn't meet. Jerome Powell is meeting on Tuesday, which I could give some indication as to how he's feeling about how they'll approach next month when it comes to rate raising and whatnot. But at least they don't meet for a few weeks. They don't come to a definitive decision for a few weeks. And yeah, there's just nothing, again, there's nothing super scary. There's no dark clouds on the horizon like there were at the beginning of last week, okay? That's the big difference. In the week ahead, investors will continue to look for clues on the course of central banks' interest rate hiking path in both economic reports and comments from Fed officials. JP, once again, is slated to speak at a Wall Street Journal conference on Tuesday afternoon. For now, the markets expect half-point interest rate hike at the June meeting and another in July, with possibly a third in September. Central Bank raised its Fed funds target rate by half a point this month after a quarter-point hike in March. Lastly, the health of the consumer will be a major focus in the coming week. The economic calendar includes April retail sales and also a look at the housing sector with the National Association of Home Builders survey. Both reports are set for release on Tuesday, with housing starts coming on Wednesday and existing home sales on Thursday. And once again, Walmart, Home Depot, Target set to report earnings, showing the strength of your average Joe consumer. Okay. So those are the fundamentals to look out for this week. Again, very, very different than last week. Last week, we had a slurry of earnings, kind of cap off big tech earnings season, which obviously went terribly up until Friday when we saw that bounce. But again, you guys, there's no more storm clouds on the horizon. We've gone through the storm, and hopefully it is somewhat smooth. There's no chance that this week will be as volatile as last week, but the water should be a lot smoother as opposed, or definitely in comparison to last week. Okay, so let's close out the video talking some charts again. Bitcoin on daily candles. It's really looking, and if you guys, I did a more in-depth analysis on Bitcoin in yesterday's video. So if you haven't watched that, go check that out, or the previous video prior to this if you're watching at a later date. I'll just keep it really short and sweet today, okay, you guys? So Bitcoin daily candles. I do think Bitcoin in the short to medium term, I'm talking, what is this? When's this target? Again, you guys, this is completely just a guess, just eyeballing the chart, looking at so many charts over the past decade. What I think might happen, but this could be completely wrong. It's really all about the price target is always dependent on when the trend line is achieved. But I do think that we will see a reversal to the downside following the short-term relief rally for Bitcoin once the previous line of support on this descending channel is hit. May 21st, that would be next Saturday, this upcoming Saturday, I guess. just about a week from now. That would take Bitcoin to $35,000, which was also kind of a little floor for BTC as well prior to just falling off an absolute cliff. So I do think Bitcoin over the following week over the coming week or so, can rally up to $35,000. Once we see that, I do think that we will see some downside, and I do think that I do think 24,000 is still possible. I do not think we'll see 18 to 20,000. I don't think that's possible at all. Again, I think the majority of the macro headwinds are behind us now. The economy, the fundamentals, the macroeconomics still are not bullish. I want to make that very clear. Bitcoin is very, very almost guaranteed in my mind. It is guaranteed in my mind that we're not going to see new all-time highs for quite a while, but I do think we can float in a range of $30,000 to $40,000. Keep it super broad for the foreseeable future. And again, you guys, that's where swing trading and potentially capitalizing on the volatility could work in your favor. But again, if you want to be a passive investor, if you just want to buy some now and just set it and forget it, if you think Bitcoin will be $1 million someday, I personally don't know about that one. But I do think $500,000 is very, very possible 5-10 years down the line. Then you know what, just buy some right now if you feel that same way, of course, and set it and forget it. But Bitcoin short term, again, over the coming week, I do think we can see $35,000, and keep you guys posted from there. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Let's take a look at Coinbase and Riot, and just to let you guys know, these are some names that I'm excited. I mean, ChargePoint, Matterport, SoFi, Roblox, Coinbase, Vuzix, Riot Blockchain. These are all names that I'm excited about. If you guys want, we're not going to look at those charts, but I will definitely be covering all of these charts over the coming days in the newsletter. So again, plug the newsletter, go check it out, and it's just $15 a month, you guys. Go give it a shot. If you don't like it, just unsubscribe. All right. So that's Bitcoin. Let's take a look at, Riot. We'll close it out with Coinbase. So Riot Blockchain did just test. I mean, this is simple right here, you guys. Did just test a very, very significant line of resistance on its medium-term downtrend. I guess it's been in since late March. So been in this downtrend for about a month and a half now, and perfectly tested it on that massive bounce we saw on Friday. I do think Riot will break above this, considering Bitcoin is up right now. It's very likely, considering Bitcoin and the crypto markets are kind of the real futures markets. That's how I perceive them. Futures for the equity markets. So Bitcoin's doing good on Sunday. It's pretty likely that the NASDAQ and S&P will do good on Monday. I do think Riot, especially crypto stocks, right? Riot and Coinbase, I do think they'll do well. I do think Riot will break this line of resistance and come up here to test the previous low on the series of lower highs and lower lows. Use the previous low as a new high, maybe reverse it from here, but I do think Riot can see maybe $13-14 eventually to test this low back here. But for now, for over the coming days, I do think Riot can see like $9.50 to $10 even maybe. So that is Riot Blockchain. Let's close out the video talking some Coinbase, and then we'll call it a Sunday. So Coinbase, crazy volume on Coinbase there, right? Like that's bonkers. But Coinbase, I mean, kind of a similar thing, you guys. I think it's very possible for Coinbase to actually see a pretty significant rally come here. This orange line right here, previous line of support on Coinbase's downtrend, has not yet been tested as new resistance. But I mean, worst case scenario for Coinbase, you guys, I do think, like, worst case scenario for Coinbase, and I said this in the newsletter as well, could be a lot better, but honestly, I think that Coinbase will at the very least see this upside. I think this is a pretty easy, goddamn easy trade right now. Test this previous low again before it fell off an absolute cliff. This low, this floor over here is at about $1.12. This also perfectly intersects with this trend line for Coinbase. Previous resistance right here, broke below it. Like multiple trend lines just intersecting around this 112 to 120 area. But again, worst case scenario for Coinbase, I do think by mid-June, so over the coming month, in less than a month now, I do think Coinbase can see $110 plus. And again, you guys, Coinbase, this thing is still at what? So market cap of $15 billion, PE ratio of 5, which is, I mean, that's not even a railroad company right there. Railroad freaking companies traded higher multiple PE ratios than this. So Coinbase, one of the great companies of the future, in my opinion. If you believe in crypto in the US, you believe in Coinbase, you have to believe in Coinbase. So again, you guys, I think this is an easy play right here, and this is pretty much free money in my mind. Not financial advice, you guys know the drill, but I think once again, $110 plus for Coinbase by mid-June is an easy play. Okay, so we'll call the video there, you guys. Again, let me know in the comments down below. How are you feeling going into this trading week, and what are you looking forward to buying? Okay, so I'll catch you guys downstairs in the comments. Join the Waves fam. Join the next tier up of the Waves fam. And again, first link down in the description box below. I'll see you guys whenever I choose to make another video. Until then, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.